Hey guys, thank you for joining me for my poster board presentation on my research proposal. My purpose of my study is to examine the effects of self-management strategies for academic engagement and work completion. In my review of literature, I found many studies for self-management strategies and their effects of academic engagement and work completion. However, there were not very many that were tailored to students with ADHD. So my research question is, will self-management strategies improve academic engagement and work completion for elementary age students with ADHD? My participants are 3 fourth graders with ADHD or ongoing inattentiveness and poor work completion, and thereby poor grades as well, both in science class and a science inclusion class and a resource math class. My dependent variables are engagement or on-task behavior, where the student has to have their eyes on the board or on the teacher or on their work at hand. I won't read the whole definition there, but it is outlined here. Work completion is defined as, the students have assigned 10 questions for independent work in morning math work and then also in science work as well. And so they must complete those 10 questions ideally. However, 80% or above is acceptable at this time. And the independent variables are self-management strategies for, of course, both the math setting and the science setting as well. Self-monitoring response cards are used for on-task behavior in math and science, and self-graphing bar graphs for work completion in math and science as well. My design system is I used a multiple baseline across participants, and the measuring system for on task is momentary time sampling. So math and science are 55 minutes each. And so we've broken up those 55 minutes into 5-minute intervals, and at the sound of a ding at every 5 minutes, the students self-respond on their card. Let's see, for work completion, we are using permanent product where, we see how their work that they've assigned, how have they completed those, and they have a graph that they complete as well, and so we'll make sure that those graphs are corresponding. So for example, if Thomas answered 10 out of 10 questions, he will mark 10 on his bar graph. And let's see, threats to internal validity in a multiple baseline design are threats of history, maturation, and testing effects. However, these threats are evaluated by staggering the introduction of self-monitoring across participants, as we have here staggered, and instrumentation is evaluated with inter-observer agreement, and fidelity of implementation, examining procedural fidelity data. And so inter-observer agreement data will be collected 20% of sessions across phases and settings, and of course acceptable IOA is 80% or higher. For social validity, teachers will be given a questionnaire. It'll be a 7-point on the Likert scale, where they can answer questions such as, is this an important skill for students to have, or maybe even a follow-up questionnaire as well at the end. Was this strategy effective? Were the effects good enough, or was it too distracting? Was it doable? And of course, questionnaires for the students as well, asking similar questions relating to, I guess for them, the convenience of it. Did they enjoy it? Was it distracting for them? Was it hard to keep up with? Let's see. So here just I've got my visual analysis charts just to look at these a bit more in detail. I've got the 3 participants lined up here with baseline data collected and the predicted effects of these strategies on task percentage in math, on task percentage in science. Down here we've got work completion in math and then work completion in science for my 3 participants. Of course, the staggering of the interventions account for the replication of effects, and having the 2 settings really increases the the validity of in the generalization of my study. There is some discussion as well that a multiple baseline probe design would have been also effective as well, as opposed to gathering data for another whole entire setting. We could have used a probe model as well. But that is what I have. That is where I'm at, and I thank you for your time and your attention. Have a great day.